Welcome back to the 888 Poker Weber Cup 13. Team USA have just secured the opening point of this year's tournament as they look to retain the coveted title and secure back-to-back wins. The Americans first got their hands on the trophy 12 years ago in the inaugural Weber Cup in Warsaw, Poland, when they claimed a comprehensive 18 points to 11 win, a win that was to be the beginning of over a decade of 10-pin rivalry. In 2001, Team USA successfully defended their title, needing just 1 point from a possible 7 in the final session. The Europeans claimed the first to reduce the deficit to 5, but Mike Mullins stepped up to secure the vital point needed and ensure the cup was going back to the States. In 2002, the Americans once again needed just 1 point from the final session. This time, the Europeans mounted a comeback, winning the first 2 points of 7 needed to the delight of the partisan crowd. That was until the USA's charismatic captain Tim Mack stepped onto the lane, bowling a near-perfect game.
One more for a 279, fabulous game. Every shot right in the pocket. And there's the messenger, and that's a fabulous 279 from the USA captain, and the Weber Cup is retained.
A captain's performance that crushed European dreams and made it a hat-trick of wins for Team USA. The Weber Cup was a closer contest in 2003, with both teams all square after session 1. Europe began to edge ahead before a mini revival from the Americans reduced the deficit to just 2 points. But this time it was the turn of European captain Thomas Lee Anderson to seal the deal.
But it brings up the European captain to bowl the 10th frame to win the Weber Cup for Team Europe. Any spare or any strike? He's got it! Team Europe have won the Weber Cup 2003.
The Swede held on magnificently to win by just 3 points, bringing an end to the USA's reign, lifting Europe's first ever Weber Cup. Weber Cup 5 began as the closest in history, with just 1 point separating the sides after 2 days of tense 10-pin. The final day, though, was a different story as Europe steamrolled the Americans in a one-sided contest. Once again, it was up to captain Thomas Lee Anderson to steer them home, beating opposing captain Tim Mack with the highest scoring game of the tournament to successfully defend the title.
And Team Europe, thanks to Thomas Lee Anderson, will retain the Weber Cup. He still can't dance, but my goodness me, this man can bowl.
In 2005, America had led 16-14 following an early final session comeback, but the Europeans dug deep to win the next 2 singles and level the contest at 16-all. Bill Hoffman for the States and Stuart Williams for the Europeans were next onto the lane, both hoping to take their teams to match point position.
Stuart Williams has destiny in his hands. He leads by 10.
Did I say the first bowler to double will win it? He's got the chance.
What a moment. Bill Hoffman lives on.
He's laughing because we actually saw the 5, the 7 and the 10 pin standing up off of a ball that sort of went in the pocket. He's very fortunate the 5 pin and the 7 pin have gone. Just look at this. There's a 3 pin split there. And how fortunate he is just to leave the 10 pin.
The bottom line, Stuart Williams may have let Hoffman back in. Well, he's given himself a shot at another 10 pins. And we're no longer counting. The bottom line for Bill Hoffman is he must strike with his first ball, but it was looking like he could have been shut out. That's all Bill Hoffman will ask for, a chance. Bonus balls, bonus points now, he's got 10.
That is such an important strike. It makes it 181, and that is going to force Bill Hoffman to strike twice in the 10th frame.
Now, The biggest ball of the Weber Cup so far. It must be 10 for Bill Hoffman. And it is.
It's a great shot. First ball in the 10th. He must strike. Second time.
Nothing he can do. His job is done. It's very simple now. Bill Hoffman strikes, he wins. Which one of these two teams is going on to the threshold? You cannot imagine the tension in this auditorium.
Has to strike.
And doesn't. And all the Americans were on their feet and all their heads dropped. Williams somehow has pulled out a point for Team Europe.
A nail-biting end to an absolute thriller. That win, to the obvious relief of Williams, puts Europe to within a point of a famous win. So who better to rise to the challenge and claim that vital point than captain Thomas Lee Anderson?
Strike for 258 and the Weber Cup.
He didn't get it. He doesn't care. Team Europe retain the Weber Cup.
Thomas Lee Anderson once again posts a fantastic score to send his team to glory. That third consecutive win levelled the overall score at 3-3 in one of the most exciting Weber Cups ever. 2006 didn't disappoint either. The USA dominated day 2 of play as they took a seemingly unassailable 12-5 advantage. But the Europeans fought back in style, going into the final session just 11-12 behind before moving to 17-16 in front. However, in a night of high drama, the Americans held their nerve, Tim Mack winning his singles match before an epic Team Baker contest.
It would be no surprise if Chris Barnes stepped up and ripped the rack. And that would force Torgerson to do exactly the same. It's a cauldron of pressure right now. Frame 9 of the last game.
Needs to be a big money ball. And it is. It makes the double. 8 and 9 for Team USA. And a high five all round. Fantastic shot from Barnes.
It's got to be all 10. And it isn't. It's the end of the Weber Cup, surely, for Team Europe. They know it. He's got to forget that disappointment. Take these 3 pins. Oh, your luck's out. That surely is lights out. Team Europe.
Can you believe that? An open frame in the 9th. So unfortunate.
You felt sorry for Bill Hoffman. Your heart goes out to Tora Torgerson. But it's not over yet. Tommy Jones steps up with American destiny in his hand.
10 to win. There's your Weber Cup winner. Surely must be.
You'll know from the reaction of the Americans if Tommy Jones has done enough with this second ball. And he has.
Team USA lift the Weber Cup for the first time since 2002 in one of the most dramatic finales ever. In 2007, the Americans left it late to defend their title. Team USA were at one stage 14-10 down to an impressive European side and looked out of it. But in a valiant display of pressure bowling, they won 6 of 7 games to overturn the deficit. Tommy Jones, one of the best closers in the game, was left to do the honours, and he duly obliged, bowling the States to back-to-back titles. Team USA made it 3 successive wins in 2008 when they triumphed in the final Baker match. Europe needed to win the team game to keep their hopes alive, but any hope quickly faded as they folded in the early stages, each player failing to register a strike with their first ball. The Americans took their chance and pounced on their opponents, winning by 4 points to move 6-3 ahead in Weber Cup victories. Weber Cup 10 was the year of Team Europe. Winning 5 of 6 games in the penultimate session, they needed just 1 point to close out the tournament as it headed into the closing stages. To their credit, the Americans came out fighting, taking the first 3 points, but Weber Cup veteran Paul Moore delivered the final blow.
If he takes all 10,
it's all over.
It's all over. Come on, Paul. This is for the Weber Cup. It looks good, doesn't it? And he knows it.
Look at the look of emotion on Paul Moore's face. Tim can't believe it. Doesn't want to believe it. Paul Moore has won the Weber Cup for Team Europe.
Superb scenes of celebration among the European teammates and fans in the Metrodome arena as the USA's reign comes to an end. In 2010, the Europeans moved to within one of USA's Weber Cup triumphs as they retained the title to trail 6-5. The Americans gave themselves too much to do as a 7-point deficit proved impossible to overhaul, and it was Paul Moore who once again bowled the strikes to give Europe victory. Last year's Weber Cup went to the 32nd game of the 33-match series as Europe looked to level at 6-6. They began the better of the teams edging the early stages and opened up an encouraging lead. But the Americans pegged them back and moved to within a point of victory at 16-11 before the Europeans won 4 on the spin to reduce the deficit to 1. The captains picked each other in the captain's pick, and it was this match that would prove to be the decider.
Let's not take anything away from Osku Palermaa. This is a great game he's bowled. He's going to be 230 plus, 237 with a strike. Just setting the score for Chris Barnes to try and beat. Oh, there it is. That is a great finish. It's a really good game, under pressure.
Big shot this for Chris Barnes.
Has to be a strike.
Takes the strike, Chris Barnes!
Can you believe that? That's just unbelievable.
The USA reclaim the Weber Cup for the first time in 3 years. They win 17 points to 15.
That's how it ended in 2011, but who will be victorious in 2012? Join us next time when the 888 Poker Weber Cup 13 continues.